My name is Gwyn, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I personally struggled with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. I was experiencing suicidal thoughts, and word of that got to my RHs, and they and student housing actually kind of forced me to seek other resources. The first of which being walk-in therapist at SCS. They made me go see them immediately after they heard that I was having suicidal thoughts. And then later on, they forced me to go to the emergency room, and then later I was sent to Lakeshore. When I first got to college, I was really experiencing I was more depressed than I had really ever been in my life, probably because of the big, change in my life. It can be really hard to, transition from high school to college, and especially, being away from home, just really, exacerbated any existing, mental health issues that I had been having. The impression that I got from my interactions with my RHs and indirectly from student housing was that they really wanted to be as aggressive as possible with mental health issues, seeking the highest level of treatment that they kind of felt was appropriate for the situation. UChicago referred me to an outside program that was an intensive outpatient program that was downtown, and that just really helped me. It was 4 days a week of 3 hours of therapy, so it was a lot, but that was really what I needed at the time because I was very, very depressed. And UChicago was pretty good about letting me, I took a reduced course load while I was in the intensive outpatient program. So I was only taking 2 courses so that I could go downtown and actually use this program. But yeah, that was really helpful because I actually was in group therapy with people who were going through similar issues. And I was also in skill learning. So I learned helpful coping techniques. That was definitely the most helpful thing for me. When I did end up going to the emergency room and then to Lakeshore, I think that was probably the most logical place for me to be based on my mental state, but also I feel like I wasn't necessarily being heard about how I was feeling in the situation. It was just kind of this is what you said, so this is what is going to happen. I have had other friends who have had similar experiences with housing and mental health. The fact that our mental health resources are really, I think they are doing a good job with the resources that they have, but they really just don't have a lot to work with. I think the university also doesn't realize how big of a problem it is, that it's not taken seriously enough. Maybe that is because it's kind of normalized in this strange way. Because we're UChicago students, it's normal to be depressed and suffering because of your classes. My psychiatrist is at SCS, and I really appreciate having that service. And if someone else was in a similar situation to me, feeling really depressed, I might, direct them to student counseling so that they could see about medication if that was a route that they wanted to take. Because I don't think a lot of people really know that that's a service that student counseling offers, but it is, and it's pretty good. Maybe doing some more training with housing and housing officials for crisis situations. Because to me it seemed they were very, cautious in their dealings with students in crisis situations, but not in a way that is necessarily helpful. If RHs were maybe given some more instruction on what to do if a student comes to you with suicidal ideation, maybe that could help prevent future incidents of people maybe being pushed into a higher level of care than they actually need.